So welcome back to today's session. In this session or in this video, I will be writing a PowerShell script to print the contents of a directory in a tree format. So if in a tree format, and it will go to any depth of the directory and print the directory. So if we have suppose in the root folder there are files, then there are other 5 folders, so we will go inside those directories to and print their files and so on and so on. So this is to print entire structure, inner structure of a directory in a tree format. So let us start working on the script. I will launch vim from here, and the name of the script is going to be print directory tree.ps1. Let us start. So to make it work, we are going to need two things. We are going to need a level, that at what level currently we are. So we are going to say parameter mandatory because we won't be able to do anything without it. And I can say level. Then we need, what is that? We need a path of the directory where we have to recurse and print its contents or childs. So we need two things. We need a level and we need a path. So first thing we will try to do is try to print the input that we are getting. Level is $level. Path is $path. And let us check if it is working or not. Okay, we haven't provided the input, so I will say level is 1, path is archive. So it is printing level 1 path archive. Okay. So our script is working and it is getting called, and command line is also able to detect the required parameters. So what we are going to do next is we are going to say if test path $path. That means that if our path is valid, then we will move forward with our operation. Otherwise we will just ignore it. Write output valid path. Just test that. So path is valid. If I say archive1, nothing is there. Good so far. Let us remove it. Once that is done, we are going to check the item. Fetch the item from the command line. I will say get item path $path. If $item equals file info, sorry, I will say item type, because there are going to be two types of items in a directory. It is either going to be a file or it is going to be a directory. So I will have to say item dot get type dot name, like this. To show you an example, let us say get item path and suppose empty txt. This is the file. So let me store in a variable. This will have the information about this item. I will say get type dot name. It is a file info. Let me do this with directory. This is an empty directory, but it is a directory. Now if I say check the type of the name of the current type of the object, we say we get directory info. So we use this to differentiate between to check whether the current item is a directory or file. So if the item.eq is file info, so what are we going to do? We'll just output the the file full name, let us say that. This will just print the full name of file name, and that's it. And I will return from here because we cannot iterate over file. Let us test our uh, script and say empty.txt. Okay, nothing happened. Let us check why. So you saw that it prints the full name of the given path and exits. Next is if this condition is not successful, that means that the given item type is a directory type. So we will have to say, first we will do is that we will output the name of the directory. So if we have archive, so we are going to print the archive first. If we have directory, another directory inside archive, we will just print the name of the archive and we will do nothing else. And I will say item dot name into dollar here. Just print the name of the directory, nothing else. Let's move back, call archive. So it prints the name of the archive. Let us make it colorful. I will say ps style dot, let me get the given the what is called variables or attributes or provided by PowerShell to get the color choices. So over here there is a directory info that provides the correct color of the directory. So this is the file info dot directory. So I will just say ps style dot file info dot directory, and now we need to reset this. Otherwise we need to reset the color back to the original colors in the command line PowerShell, supported by the PowerShell. So for example, if I call this directory, set the variable here, then everything we print after this is going to be of this color. So to reset it back to the default, we have to provide this reset or set the reset variable here. We are not setting it, we are reading the content of reset variable, and that ANSI code will reset it back to the default color. And when we say file info dot directory, that entire variable is getting replaced by this backtick e open square bracket 44 colon 1m. And when I say reset, then it is getting replaced by this value. This is the value of the variable reset. So once we do that, now we should be able to see the color, the directory name in color. Uh, the term ps style is not recognized. Okay, you can see that it is coming in a colored format. The background is blue and text is white. If you go back, you see here in this where we got an error. You saw that in that scenario, after printing the archive, the next text, that is 22 October 7, the time, date and time is also has background blue. So because that was not reset uh, until printing the directory. But in the second scenario where there was no error, you can see only the name of the directory was, it has background color blue, and the uh, color of the foreground color, that is character color, is white. we have successfully printed the name of the directory. What we need to do is that we need a space variable multiplied by level, that number of levels that we are in. So space will keep increasing towards right so that we can have a hierarchy while printing that directory. So we will put it that here, that we are adding that space before the directory name to preserve the tree hierarchy. What are we going to do next is we are going to get the files in files. We are going to get the files. So I will say get child item type file. Path is going to be $path. Uh, path that was we were provided here, that this path. Get all the files, and you will check that if $files.length is greater than equal to 1, you can see greater than 0, that means that there are contents in the directory. Now we will loop over the files and print the name of the file one by one. So we will say for each dollar file in dollar files, dollar file in dollar files, we are going to say write output, and I will say dollar file dot name. We need to preserve the tree hierarchy, so we have to add space, and let us say make it look better. We are going to use this uh, arrow symbol to show that this is a hierarchy. Either we are going to use this, or we can use any of one. You can use this, that is 21b3. Let us do that. This is how we insert Unicode characters in PowerShell script. 21b3. 21b3 will print the file name. So they should print our file name in any directory that we are providing. So if I pass it archive, or if I pass it any directory, then it should print all the files in that directory. Let us test that. So you can see that it is printing archive as the directory name, and then it prints all file names present in it, but there is no hierarchy preserved, so we have to check that. If I go here and say dollar space, this is a Unicode file name, we need to preserve hierarchy. So what else we can do? We can go back here and say add 4 spaces, 1 2 3 4, because if you look at the vertical, our directory, the parent directory and the space has to be equal, so that we can have little more space to the right to show that the current file belongs to the top directory. Let's try again. So now it is coming in a tree format. So this is a directory, these are the files. Let's go back. We have printed all the files. Now it is turned to now it is time to what is called, now we need all the directories that we are going to loop or recurse over all the directory to recursively print all the contents of files or directories in a directory. So what we are going to do, I'll say directories child item. I need the directory of the path, $path. If directories length is greater than 0, we'll proceed further, and I'm going to call this script again. I will say print directory t.ps1. Level is going to be level plus 2, because we are going level deep. So we'll increase it by 2, we can increase it by 1, we can increase it by 4, the one which gives us the best visual of a directory. And path is going to be uh, okay, we need to loop over the directory. For each directory in directories, we'll say directory dot full name. PS child item directory path directory full name. So this will recurse over all the directory one by one. I think this should work now. Let us check. Let me add directory name dir1. Okay, I have a directory where I'm going to loop over that. I will say loop over pscons. So our script is successful. We are able to print the contents of a directory in a tree hierarchy or tree format. And what is pscons? Pscons, I think, is a project which helps you learn about PowerShell script interactively. So I had downloaded the repository, and I'm printing the tree format or tree hierarchy of that, what is called that folder where pscons is installed. So if I go back here and say get child item recurs pscons, so you can see, let me verify that I'm printing the hierarchy. Get start from pscons. So parent directory is pscons. If you say here this is the first pscons, it should have another pscons. If I go back, it has another pscons, and pscons has cons in it. You can see hierarchies following. After cons, we have constructor and patterns. Let us check that this would have constructor and patterns, and it has constructor and patterns. So we are able to print the entire hierarchy of a folder using a PowerShell script. We can improve over the current printing. We can say that we can add color to the Unicode character, and I will go back here and make it blue, foreground dot blue, and I will say face style foreground dot blue, and then I will have to reset it back. Done. Let me check if it is working or not. I'm going to check that it is working or not. It has an error. Sub expression is missing the closing. Okay, go back here. Okay, we got our arrow colored, but rest of the text is also getting colored. So what we need to do? We need to move it because the file name is also coming in between. So that is the issue. Or we can also color the file name. Let us check. I can make it. If you look at this color, it matches with the I think this debug verbose, or it matches with debug verbose or warning colors or progress style color. So we can choose anyone, or it matches with bright yellow. Mm, you can choose any one of them, or it looks similar. Formatting debug. Let us try that. Okay, now that we have our colors, but one issue is that we are printing the name of the file. We need uh, file.name, right output space, foreground color blue, and formatting is okay. We have an issue here that it is printing entire file info object. What we need to do is add parenthesis so that the correct value is printed. Let us run again. So now you can see that our tree structure is beautifully printed, and we did it by, I think, how many, 33 lines of PowerShell script. It can reduce even further if I remove the comments. Then it can be reduced further. It is now 30 lines of PowerShell script. So hope you learned in this video. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.